Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Max Story.
Before we get started with today's episode, I want to take a few moments and give you a preview of what you're about to hear and also direct you to some other series that I already have completed on my podcast. So you're about to listen to Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams. You're listening to a 30-part series on that. Today's episode is just one of 30. It's specific to lean leaders, lean managers, anyone who's leading teams of people through process improvement and continuous improvement projects, Six Sigma, those kind of things. It's not about the tools and the methods and all that. It's about how to lead teams of people. So any leader, anybody at any level can get value from this. But I just want you to know that's what this series is about. It's about that specific book. So hope you enjoy it. But I have some other series that may interest you if this series does not. Got a lot of episodes already out there, but I have a book called Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Front Lines. It's all about how to become a high impact individual, how to become a sought after employee of choice, an employee that people want to hire and want to promote. That series, there's a 30-part series, starts at episode 65. I have another series on my book, Blue Collar Leadership and Supervision, Unleash Your Team's Potential. That book is for leaders, formal authority leaders who want to learn how to effectively lead people. That series, 30-part series, starts at episode 111. I have another series. It's an 11-part series on my book, 10 Foundational Elements of Intentional Transformation, How to Become Your Best Self. That series starts at episode 158. I have another series on my Blue Collar Leadership and Culture, the 5 components for building high-performance teams. That book is really for the top leader, and it's how do you become the sought-after employer of choice. It's a 30-part series. It begins at episode 179. My wife Rhea and I, this year in 2021, the theme for my podcast this year was all about change. That's why I'm doing this series on Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams, because it's all about leading teams through change. But we have a 15-part series we recorded together on our book, Change Happens, Leading Yourself and Others Through Change. That series starts at episode 211. And then this Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams series, the one you're about to listen to, one of the episodes of, it started at episode 230. And will be a 30-part series, so it's going to take a little while to finish it. Hope you find value in some of these series. Let's get to today's podcast. Hello, everyone, and thank you for stopping by the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast today. Today, I kick off Chapter 2 in my 30-part series on my book, Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams. So in the first episode, which we covered last week, it was really an introduction to the book, and the title of that chapter was Creating a Kaizen Culture, or Creating a Culture of Continuous Improvement, if you remember what I was teaching in that episode. So today, chapter 2 is titled Living Kaizen. Live it to lead it is the subtitle. So what I'm talking about here, again, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, Kaizen is just a Japanese word that means continuous improvement. It's spelled Kaizen, if you're not familiar with that term. And what I'm talking about when I talked about last time, creating the Kaizen culture is what the entire book is going to be about. So we're kind of moving into that now, but I'm talking to lean leaders out there. Leaders who are leading continuous improvement, process improvement. And if you call it lean, that's the most common term for it. Lean manufacturing is what it's all based on, the principles of lean manufacturing. So this book, Blue Collar Kaizen, it's not about the lean tools. You got to know that up front. If you're going to listen to this episode, you're going to listen to this series specifically, you got to know right now, I'm not going to teach you the lean tools. I'm not going to teach you about 5S. I'm not going to teach you about standard work, quick changeover, TPM, 3P, value stream mapping. I'm not going to teach you all about that. I could, but I'm not going to. That's not what this series is about. It's about leading teams in a lean environment while using values and principles to achieve amazing results. And these values and principles are, my books are full of them. I call them personal growth and leadership development principles. So when I'm talking about living Kaizen, I'm talking to you, the lean leader. That now you may be a lean manager, you may be a lean coordinator, you may be a manager with some other title who's responsible for lean. You may be the plant manager, you may be the owner. I don't care what your title is. I'm talking to the person who is leading lean. You may be a frontline supervisor, who knows? But whoever values lean the most and whoever's actually leading it, championing it within an organization, that's who this series is for. And again, I'm going to tell you, if you don't know about lean, you need to learn about lean. It will make you much more valuable to an organization, which is going to make you much more successful in life. So there's a set of principles you need to learn. So the lean tools are related to improving the processes. But high impact lean leadership is related to respecting the people. And we're going to get into that later, but I want to touch on it right quick. There's basically two pillars that everybody talks about related to lean. That's continuous improvement and respect for the people. So all the lean tools that I told you a minute ago, I'm not teaching you in this series. It's not what it's about. Those are related to improving the processes. What I'm going to teach you about are principles relating to respecting the people, because I call true respect for the people is growing and developing the people at every level, simply because they're people who matter, not because they're people who can improve a process. This entire book, even if you're not a lean leader and you don't even know what lean really is, if you lead teams of people, groups of people, this book, this series is going to be full of principles that'll help you unleash that team's potential. Because that's really all this book is about, is leading people. I just happen to have logged 11,000 hours leading teams and leaders and their teams through process improvement, Kaizen events. And that's kind of what the book is based on. But the principles, you can take them, apply them to any group of people. So you must manage, you got to know this right off the bat. You must manage things and processes because they don't think and feel, but you should lead people because they do. I'm going to tell you right now, anyone who struggles to lead a Kaizen team, process improvement team, they can't get buy-in, they can't get results. Everybody sits in there like they don't have anything to say, like they don't know any ideas, they don't have any ideas, they don't want to do nothing. You struggle to get people to do anything. I'm going to tell you why. It's because you're trying to manage these people. You're trying to use them like a set of tools to accomplish the mission. People don't like that. They don't have to give you their ideas. They don't have to ask great questions. They don't have to solve problems. Most of the time, the people on these teams, they're hired to do some type of work. That's what they have to do. And then they get put on a team to try to improve some processes. And everybody wish they would cooperate and participate. But if they're being managed, they're not very interested. If they don't trust the leadership within the organization, if they think the leader's just trying to get us to work harder, they don't appreciate us, they're not going to offer up improvements. And if you truly understand lean, the people are not going to have to work harder. But if they don't trust you, that's what exactly they're going to think is going to happen. And there may be evidence in the past to prove what they believe. And you may not be the one who did it, but someone else did it. and you got to overcome that. What you got to know as a lean leader, I'm talking about a high impact lean leader. What you have to know when I'm talking about living Kaizen, I'm talking about you got to live continuous improvement, but that's not what this book is about, except for I am talking about continuous improvement of you as a lean leader, not the processes. When I'm talking about Kaizen in the sense of this book, I'm talking about you continuously improving yourself and how you lead, and you continuously developing your team and how they lead themselves. Because the most important person you will ever lead is yourself. I'm telling you right now, you already know something you should have done in your life. You could have done it. You just haven't done it. It may be something you need to stop doing. It may be something you need to start doing. And the only thing between you and that is making a choice and actually doing it. So when I'm talking about living Kaizen, I'm talking about you leading lean in a way where everyone knows and everyone can feel it that you truly respect the people. Not the words that come out of your mouth, but how you lead. And again, that's what I'm going to teach you in this series. How do you lead a team of people effectively so that they want to follow you, so that they value helping and supporting you because they know you have their back, not as a worker, as a person. So the degree to which you develop yourself determines the degree to which you will influence others. And if you're a lean leader, most often you don't have authority over anyone. You got to lead with influence. And I'm telling you, I know. I logged over 11,000 hours doing it. I didn't do it with authority. I did it with influence. We're going to talk about that in some upcoming episodes. But you need to know now why I'm talking about living Kaizen. Living Kaizen means living continuous improvement. And it's not just of processes, it's also of yourself. So when it comes to leading yourself and others, your character will launch you or limit you, especially when you're leading teams of people. When you're leading a team of people, guess what they're going to do when they go out at break? They're going to evaluate you openly. They're going to talk about you, good or bad. When they go to lunch, when they come in the morning and they with the rest of the team, a lot of times they gather around. Sometimes they have to go out and take care of business in their department before they come into the event. They come in early. Sometimes they stay late. Those people are going to be talking about you. Are they going to be saying good things or bad things? If they feel respected, they feel like you're there to help them, I'm pretty sure they're going to be saying good things. If they don't like you, they don't like your style, which means you're managing most likely, or you don't listen, which again, that's management. You're not involving them. You're in there trying to tell them what to do. You're not going to get good word of mouth advertisement. No one's going to be excited to come participate on your team in the future, or maybe tomorrow, maybe today. But your character will determine if you're a low impact leader struggling to create positive change, or if you're a high impact leader influencing many to embrace, support, leverage, and lead change throughout the organization. That as a high impact lean leader, that's what your goal is. You've got to be able, besides people just want to follow you, they want to implement change. They want to recommend change. They want to actually make change. The best people, they're always bombarding you with ideas. That's what you want. I've heard of companies where they put up a suggestion box and then they take it down later because everybody's moaning and groaning. Everybody's whining. Everybody's blaming somebody. So they've got such poor leadership that they can't even have a suggestion box. If you got great leadership, high impact leadership, a suggestion box is highly effective. If you got management of people, it's a waste because it's just a place that people can complain, and whoever has to read the complaints, they don't get any value out of it. And the people making the complaints, they don't get any value out of it. So it's really, that's a complaint box. High impact lean leaders, they need suggestions. They need participation. They need engagement. That's what this book's going to help you do. That's what this series is going to help you do. Right now, these first several chapters, I'm just kind of setting you up, especially in the book. And again, I recommend read the book. The book is very concise and precise and gets to the point. A lot of thought in there. And I'm not reading you the book. The book is also on audio. I'm just talking about the book in general. And hopefully you're going to get some additional value. I know there's some folks out there who read the book, but they like to listen to me talk like this because it supports what's in the book. It complements what's in the book. And that's what it's meant to do. Complement what's in the book, or to inspire you to get the book, but also add value for free. If you don't want to buy the book, you can get some value out of it. But what you need to know, the one thing that separates high impact lean leaders from low impact lean leaders is character. And you also need to know that one thing is made up of many things. That's why I have 13 books. And I got a whole lot more that I got to write one of these days, because there's a lot to learn about character. But character is that's the difference. The character of a lean leader or a lean consultant, lean manager, lean coordinator, that person's character is going to determine if they're effective or ineffective. So there's going to be a lot of character talk in this book. Most lean leaders, they don't talk about character. They talk about lean tools because they're focused on competency. They're focused on continuous improvement. This book will separate you as a lean leader if you learn what's in this book, and then you go make personal growth and development, leadership development a part of your mission, and you start teaching it to others. And again, kind of getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to have chapters on that. There's going to be episodes on that specifically. But regardless of your position or title, to be a high impact lean leader, you must truly have respect for the people. All of the people, all of the time, at all levels, and in all departments. What I'm basically telling you is, to be an effective lean leader, you've got to become the leader of the entire organization. Because no one reports to you. Not really. You may have a small department if you're in a bigger organization of lean support people who report to you. But most of the people, the other managers, the people working in the departments, the maintenance people, the engineering staff, pretty much everybody in the company, they don't report to you most often. So you got to set your title aside. You got to become the leader of the organization. You got to build relationships 360 degrees from wherever you're at. You got to connect all the dots. You got to be able to remove obstacles because you know somebody who can remove that obstacle. Not because you necessarily can do it, but you know somebody who can do it. And because you have a great relationship with them, they'll do it for you. But your character will determine if you're a low impact lean leader struggling to create positive change, or if you're a high impact leader influencing many to embrace, support, leverage, and lead change throughout the organization. I said that a minute ago. I want to repeat it because that's the key. Low impact lean leaders facilitate Kaizen events and blame others for their lack of results. Low impact lean leaders facilitate Kaizen events and blame others for their lack of results. So what do high impact lean leaders do? High impact lean leaders lead Kaizen events and accept responsibility for achieving results. That was one thing that was obviously different about me when I was leading these events, and I heard it from other people. It's not just me saying it, but people used to say, you're different. You're different than the other consultants who come in here. Or your events are different than everyone else's. First, I respected the people. Second, I took responsibility. I didn't blame the team. When I walk in the room, I'm the leader. If the team sucks, that means I suck. If the team doesn't get results, that's because I didn't get results as a leader. I didn't have any bad teams. We got amazing results every time. Every now and then, there were a couple of bad apples on the team. We just ignored them. We carried on. We accomplished the mission. I tried to get them on board, but some people, they don't want to be on board. That's fine. I'm on board and I'm the leader. I'm going to make it happen. And I did it because I was living Kaizen. What I mean, continuous improvement. When I started learning about lean, I read about it all the time. Then I went out and tried to apply it. Then I got other people to help me apply it. When I discovered leadership, personal growth, 2008, I've been reading it every day. But as soon as I started reading it, I started teaching it. And I'm going to talk to you about that later too. But I'm talking about it now in the context that I was living Kaizen. I was living continuous improvement, not just relative to processes, but also myself as a person and my team, the people on my teams as people. No one told me to start developing the people relative to their character. I figured that out on my own because I was taking responsibility for my teams, for the results, for their success. And I knew if I could help them think at a higher level, raise their awareness, get rid of all the junk and frustration out of their life, out of their mind for that week that I was leading them, and hopefully far into the future, if I could motivate and inspire them to continue their growth and sustain their personal gain, that we were going to get great results. So I want to leave you with a quote today by Jeffrey Gitomer. He says, "Your best chance for success is reading. Learn to earn. Read to succeed." A lot of people say that. I don't know who ever said it first. I have no idea. I say it a lot. Jeffrey Gitomer saying it there. It doesn't matter. It's a principle. Read to succeed. Learn to earn. If you're not reading, you're not. If you're not reading, you're not leading. Leaders are readers. And it's not just about the 5S, the TPM, the QCO, the standard work, the VSM, all the tools. It's not just about reading about that. It's about reading about character development, personal growth. I'm telling you, I'm going to teach you some stuff in here. Most lean people, lean leaders, they do not do this stuff. I don't know any of them that do it, but I'm sure there's got to be some other ones that do what I'm going to teach you in this book. But if you're not doing it, you can learn this and start doing it, and you'll get over the two biggest obstacles that everybody who leads lean complains about. It's hard to get buy-in, and they can't sustain the gains. And I'm telling you, this whole book is the reason why they can't do that, because they don't do what's in this book. But if you do what's in the book, you're going to be able to generate buy-in. You're going to be able to sustain the gains. So we're going to wrap up today's episode. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.